we will discuss about pipes and redirection. Before going to see the details of the shell programming, we need to learn some important information about how the inputs and outputs of the Linux program can be redirected. So you may already be familiar with some examples like cat space greater than space file name. So where we are using the redirection operator, but you may not aware of that you are using the redirection operator. So I'm going to discuss about the redirection of output. As I already specified in the example that cat greater than file name, I have a redirection operator. Similarly, I'm giving one more example here, that is ls space -l space ls output.txt. With the help of ls command, we can list the files and directories available in the current directory. But in the example, I have specified -l option. So with the ls space -l option, I can display the long list of files and directories in the current directory. And I will show the output in the terminal. So now I am going to execute ls command. So it shows the list of files and directories here. In the same way, if I use ls-l, then it shows the same list of files and directories, but in the form of a long list options. Long list option in the sense, if you observe each line, we have the permission bits, followed by the number of links, followed by the login name or username or something, then number of bytes occupied, date at which it was created, etc. And it shows the file name here. Likewise, it shows some output in the form of a long listing of files and directories. So now I would like to write the output of ls-l into some file name. Instead of writing it onto the screen, I would like to write it onto the file. So for that, I'm using the command ls-l space greater than, that is a redirection operator, space some file name .txt. If the file does not exist, then it is going to create a file. So I'm going to execute this command. So here, earlier I have specified only ls-l, it shows the output like this. Now I have executed the command ls-l space greater than space some file name. So now I'm going to run the cat command to see what is the content that is available in ls-output.txt. Now if you observe, it is the same content that is available in ls-l, whatever it is going to display. The same is displayed with the help of the cat command. However, so we need to discuss much more regarding the redirection. That means it is just simply a redirection that we are using as an operator. But we need to discuss more about redirection, that we will learn about the standard file descriptors now. In order to get more information about the redirection, we need to know about the standard file descriptors. But we will not go in depth about the standard file descriptors now. But for the sake of convenience to learn the redirection concept, I would like to give some information regarding what is 0 What is 1 and what is 2? 0, 1 and 2 are the file descriptors here, where 0 represents the standard input file descriptor and 1 represents the standard output file descriptor. Then 2 represents the standard error output file descriptor. So these are the 3 different file descriptors that the system is going to use by default. So 0, 1 and 2, standard input and standard output and standard error output respectively. So these are the file descriptors that I may use in the discussion regarding the redirection of output. So now we will see example. If you observe ls-l greater than filename.txt. Here greater than is an operator which is used as a redirection operator. And I already specified if the file ls-output.txt does not exist, it will create a file. What happens if it exists? If the file ls-output.txt exists, what happens? Means it will overwrite the existing content in ls-output.txt with the new content that is provided as input by ls-l command. That means the output of ls-l command will be the input for ls-output.txt that will be written with the help of this redirection operator. But my intention is I don't want to overwrite the content of the existing file, and I want to append the content also. I don't want to overwrite, and I want to append also. So if I don't want to overwrite, I will show you the command not to overwrite the content of the file in the terminal. So I clear the screen. So I have to use set -o space no clobber. I have to use the command set with option -o space no clobber. If I set the command, that means if I execute this set command with -o space no clobber, it will prevent the file from overwriting. It will prevent the file from overwriting. So here not ls-output.txt only. It can take any file. That means it can consider any file not to be overwritten. That means we cannot overwrite any file in the current directory. So before going to execute this command, so I will show you the example regarding ls-l. I think you already observed ls-l space greater than space ls-out.txt. You have observed the output of ls-output.txt. So now I will show you the output of ls-output.txt. So that is the output. So now I'm going to I'm going to execute the command ls-l space. And I'm going to consider the file SEP file here. So earlier I have specified only ls-l, so it shows the list of all the files and directories in the current directory. And it is displayed in the form of a long format option. Okay. So now I'm going to consider only this particular file, SEP file. So now if you execute this command like this, then I will get only the line that I have shown with the help of ls-l. If the SEP file exists, then it shows this line. So it shows only that particular line here, that is regarding SEP file, the long list of SEP file. So now I would like to write this into ls output. So what happens if the file ls output already exists? I specified it will be overwritten. So this is the output screen that you are observing regarding cat space ls output.txt. So now I'm going to execute ls-l space a specific file name I am going to consider here, that is a SEP file. This line I want to write here into this particular ls output.txt. Okay, we will see if I use greater than and ls output.txt is already available, what it will do, we will see now. So I'm going to press enter. So now if you observe, the output of ls-l space SEP file is written into ls output.txt. So now I'm going to show the output, ls output.txt. So compared to the previous output, whatever the content that I have marked here is overwritten with this particular line. So that is the output of ls-l SEP file. But my intention is I don't want to overwrite. I don't want to overwrite the file. So I'm going to take set command to execute with -o no clobber. I'm going to press enter. So the set command is executed with -o option with no clobber value. That means we can prevent the redirection operator to overwrite the content of the existing file. So now I'm going to execute the command, this one, but here I'm not going to take the same file here. I'm going to take one more file, display the long list format of this strfp out file. Now if I press enter, as I already set no clobber, that means I don't want to override the existing content. So it is showing the error. It cannot override the existing file. Now I would like to append the content. That means I want whatever the output that it is going to display, that is ls-l strfp out. The output I want to add it to the ls output.txt along with this particular line. I want to add it along with this particular line. That means I want to add at the end of the file. That means I have to append the new content to the bold content in the existing file. So in that case, I have to use, I'm going to take the same command if we observe, ls-l strfp out, and instead of single greater than, I'm going to use double greater than sign. And the file name.txt. So now if I press enter, so the command is executed successfully, even though I set the no clobber option. With the help of this no clobber option of a set command, I can prevent overwriting of the existing file, but I cannot prevent appending. So now I will show the output of ls output.txt. So now along with this particular line that was written into the file, along with that, I'm going to display whatever the ls-l strfp out. That is the output is in long format. So that output file, this is the line that I'm going to write into the same file at the end with the help of the append operator, with the append redirection operator. Earlier I have set the no clobber option with -o so that the file is prevented from overwriting. And it is also applicable to all the files. If the file already exists and if you want to overwrite, it is not possible. But for sometimes I may want to overwrite the existing file with a new content sometimes. So in that case, I need to unset the no clobber option. If you want to unset the no clobber option, then I have to use +o. I need to use +o no clobber. I'm going to execute this command. So now I will execute one more time the ls command with another file name so that you can observe whether it is overwritten or not. So I will take SCP file and enter. So now it shows no error message after executing this. Then by executing cat ls output, earlier we have observed these two lines as an output, but now it was overwritten with this particular content. So I'm going to show one more example regarding append, where the output of the ps command. I think you might understand the ps command, that ps means it is process status. The output of the process status command will be appended to ls output.txt with the help of double greater than redirection operator symbol. With the help of single greater than redirection operator, I can write the content of the output of the command into the file. If the file exists, it will overwrite. If the file does not exist, it will create and it will write the content. And to prevent overwriting, we have used the set command with -o space no clobber option. And if I want to unset the no clobber option, then I have to use the set +o space no clobber option. Till now, we have redirected to the user defined file, that is ls output.txt or something like cat greater than some file name. The file name may be given by the user, which is a regular file or it may be a special file or something. But my intention is I would like to write the data onto the standard output file or standard error output file. I want to write the data onto the standard output file or standard error output file. So in that case, I need to prefix or preface the greater than operator with the file descriptor number. So I will show you an example in the screen now. So before going to see the example, suppose if I want to use the kill command to kill a process from a script, what happens? If you want to use kill command to kill a process from a script, what happens? Here the answer is, before the kill command is going to execute, sometimes the process may be terminated. Before the kill command is executed, the process may be terminated. If this happens, then the kill command will write some error message onto the standard output file and also it will appear on the screen. So if the kill command identifies that the process is terminated, that means if there is no process, then the kill command will write some error message to the standard error output file, which by default will appear on the screen. But my intention is I don't want to appear it on the screen. I want to only write the output onto the standard error output file, or I want to write the output on to both the standard output and standard error output file, depending on whether the command is executed successfully or if it contains any error or not. Normally, if the command executed successfully, the successful message will be written onto the standard output file. If the command is failed to execute, then the error messages will be written onto the standard error output file. Anyhow, the default behavior of those two files is appearing that means it will display the image, it will display the content that is available in the file on the screen. That means standard output and standard error files are nothing but the monitors that we are seeing, where it contains the terminal, and on the terminal we are seeing the output. But my intention is I want to prevent the kill command from writing any text to the screen. I want to just write it to the file. So to do that, we need to redirect both the standard output and standard error into the particular file by using the following command. So that is kill with some options like -h, -u, -p. Instead of writing -h, -u, and -p, I have specified -h, u, p, space 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is representing the process ID, space greater than. So when this is going to identify 1, 2, 3, 4 process, and if the kill command is going to terminate this particular process, if it is success, then it will write the information onto killout.txt. Otherwise, it will not write any information into killout.txt. And if it is going to fail, when it is failed, if the process is terminated before the kill command is going to execute, or if the process does not exist, we can say simply. So, but we cannot say process does not exist if the process ID is not identified. If the process is already terminated, meaning that it is not identified means the process does not exist, or it may be terminated already. Then the error message will be raised by the kill command, and it will be written onto the standard error output file just as specified. in the previous screen that if I want to write the output onto the standard output or standard error file, I need to prefix the greater than operator with the appropriate file descriptor number. Here I would like to write the error message onto the standard error output file. So the file name here it is 2 greater than. That means 2 greater than means the output is written onto the standard error output file. So I'm executing with the help of a terminal, clearing the screen. Kill space -HUT space 1234. I have specified the process ID. So now if you observe, it is raising an error that no such process exists. So we will see the PS command so that we will get the process IDs. I have only 2 process IDs that are running in the system, that is 11 and 56. Now I would like to write this information onto the file killout.txt. If the process ID is available, it is going to write the successful information onto killout.txt. So now I'm going to execute up to here and I will show you the output. So if you observe, it is not written anything because the command raises an error and it doesn't return anything. Then I'm going to execute this command with greater than kill error.txt. Even if you observe, it shows no such process. Now I'm going to display the output of killout. It is not containing anything. Then I'm going to display the output of the file kill error.txt. Again, it contains nothing. So now my intention is I want to write the output onto the file but not onto the screen. But here up to this, whatever the command that I have executed in or however fashion it may be, other than specifying the redirection operator prefixed with the file descriptor, it is displaying the output on the screen. So now I am going to modify the command with the file descriptor number 2 here, prefixed with 2, and there should not be any space in between the greater than sign and the file descriptor number. Now press enter. So now it was successfully executed like the previous one. It was executed, but it doesn't show this message. Now, so when I execute the command by adding 2 as a prefix to greater than sign, it doesn't show the error message here, and it means that it has written the information into this particular file. Now you'll see cat command kill out, there is no output. Earlier it was C added to the file name, so it shows no such file or directory. So in killout.txt there is no information available because there is no process ID. So the kill command is not successfully executed. It has an error that process ID is not available or the process is not available. So now we will see kill error.txt whether it is containing any information or not. Yes, it contains information that the information that is shown when I execute this command or when I execute the command like this. Whatever the information is shown, it was written into the kill error.txt and it was not appeared on the screen after executing this particular command by adding prefix to greater than sign as a file descriptor number. So that is if I want to write the output onto the specific file descriptor. I need to specify the file descriptor number followed by the greater than operator so that I can write the output onto the specific file so that the content will not be appear on the screen. I want to capture both the output and error information into a single file. Then I have to use the command like this. That is a kill space -1 space 1234. That is a process ID space greater than the single file name that I want to write both output and error, and 2 greater than &1. That means I need to use ampersand operator here. Redirecting input. I will just give an example regarding redirecting input. So here more is a command which is used to filter given content in the file by displaying only 25 to 30 lines at a time. That means with the help of more I can use it as a filter for paging through the text one screen full at a time. So I'm going to show you the output regarding this more command, but I don't have killout.txt because it doesn't contain much more information in the program that I already executed now. So if you observe killout.txt, it doesn't contain anything. But if I execute ls output.txt, I have some content. So now I can override the content with the output of ls-l into ls output.txt. I think it will be overwritten now. So now if I use the cat command with this, I can get this information. Okay. So now if I use more command, less than sign means it is one of the redirection operator which is used to read the data like input. Less than sign is used for standard input file descriptor 0. So now more less than, I'm going to specify ls output.txt. Enter. So now it shows only these many number of lines at a time. So now if I want to see more content within the file which is available, then I have to press space bar so that I can see the remaining the next 30 lines. Then again I can press space bar. Then again I'm pressing space bar. So likewise, until the end of the file is reached, I can press space bar so that I can see what is the remaining content that is available in the file. So that is the use of more command, and that is the use of redirection operator.